wanted to throw something into this free will discussion that hasn't been mentioned yet. It was an experiment done by Benjamin Libet, a physiologist at the University of California, where what he basically did was rig people up next to an electronic button that they could press with their fingertips to two machines, to an EEG machine, which measured the electrical activity in various parts of their brain, and also to a sensor on their arm that measured the movement of the muscle. And then he asked them to watch a dot moving around an oscilloscope at a steady rate, and told them to push a button to stop it whenever they wanted to. And he also asked them to keep track of when they had the subjective experience of wanting to stop it. He wanted them to record where the ball was at that point. And he was timing all of these activities, and he correlated the activity of the motor cortex of the brain, the person's subjective report of where the dot was when they actually wanted it to stop, and when they actually moved their muscle and pushed the button. And it turned out that the motor centers of the brain began to become active to stimulate the muscle to push the button before the subjects reported consciously willing themselves to push the button. So basically what this tells us is that the brain was already ready to act before we experience that sense of freely moving or deciding to do anything. So all of our decisions are basically already going to happen anyways, even before we feel like we're deciding them. Or at least that's the one of the possible conclusions we might draw from this experiment. Certainly you could question the methodology. How accurate can you really measure a person's subjective report of when they freely acted or when it felt like they decided? I mean, there's some issues with that. But I'm not sure. I think maybe it's possible that you could measure that. So what does this add to the free will determinism discussion?